What's up, guys? This is DG Vanguard, and we are here today for a very special video. We're going to be commentating the finals for the God Save the VGCS that happened in Birmingham 2 weeks ago now. I'm joined here by Cid and Naeem. You may recognize them from the excellent commentary that they've been providing for the channel these past for the Swiss rounds and for the top cut.
Yeah. David's back.
Yeah. I'm finished with my dissertation now, so that's a huge relief. And now I'm able to so looking at the matchup right now, it's Team Apocrypha, which was our team, versus Team Omae Mou Shindeiru, which was, if you might not know, that is Mohammed's team. You may know Mohammed as the Oracle think tank player that swept Germany in the last competitive season, and he was also joined by Nick No, who was the 2016 second place runner-up at the English Nationals, as well as Dominic Manzi, who also made top 8 at Cardiff the previous year with a very good Luard list. So yeah, that's basically it.
To be perfectly honest, I did not know Nick got second place at a nuts, so
yeah,
might be against all the better now.
Yeah, and on our team was obviously Naeem, myself, and Saga, who can't be here today for he's fairly busy with his work.
He lives in Blackburn. He doesn't even live in Manchester.
Yeah, that's another reason as well. It's harder for him to get here from Blackburn, I suppose. So
I think he starts the game.
Yeah. So we're getting very close to starting the game here. So Victor versus Dark Irregular. In my matchup, I was up against Regalia with using my Zodiac Time Beast, and Saga was using Domination against CT.
I'm guessing you're very familiar with that matchup now up to this point.
Yeah, I'm very familiar with how the Regalia deck works. I have the deck myself, and obviously Cid runs it quite a lot.
Mou's build is a lot different.
Mou's build is fairly different to yours though, but like the sort of like the playstyle is very similar, obviously. But it is heavily more defensive. The match has started, so
we both ride PGs. I'm not sure him riding a PG is good for him, but me riding PG is good for me.
Yeah, because you can get the darkness triggered and get that draw.
The good thing is both of these PGs has the ability to draw extra cards when using dark.
Yeah.
Nick is going in for it's a very standard play from Nick.
Well, you get a heal trigger that'll help on the defensive.
So I'm like 1 to pass here, and I'm just like, don't worry.
No, he doesn't get it. So that's a 14 at your 11, so it's a 5k guard, you guard with a crit. Yeah. So it's like at this point, are you in the like sort of like the mindset to like counter rush here, or are you just going to?
I just want to keep my tempo. Like, I'm probably just going to swing Rias here because I don't want to give him too much counter blast because Victor likes counter blast.
Yes. Yeah.
You did manage to get the Vega Tiger, so that's
yeah. I mean, like you were explaining in the previous video, it's a very high percentage on the first.
Yeah, it's 8%.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice.
I would say, in my personal opinion, I actually think Dark Regulus is like the best deck of the formats currently.
Yeah.
Like Zodiac Time Beast is pretty good, but they struggle against Dark Irregulars for the pure reason that the guard restricting puts a lot of pressure on Zodiacs, who do rely on that recycling perfect guard a lot for their defensives in the later game.
Grade 2 game without riding on to the next grade, but he does get the critical.
He gets the crit. I think I'll let it hit. Actually, I might. He gave everything to that, so it's like what, 20.
That's a 20. No, that's 19.
So it's a 15 goal. So
yeah.
So that's a grade 3 in the trigger.
I damaged my grade 3, and I actually don't have grade 3 in hand.
Oh, the struggle's real.
Very fun. So I'm basically just gonna sit here and be like, shit, well, I have to G-assist. There's no way I win if I don't. So I reveal my hand, and as you can see, I am drawing my cards, and there are no grade 3s there.
Yeah, sad days.
It's fine though, because like I can still do stuff on my turn.
I mean, you have 15 grade 2s in there, so you have a very solid grade 2 game there.
Yeah, I keep 15 grade 2s for a reason.
Victors do have a very weaker grade 2 game than you, so
yeah.
Just for the fact that like the the Demonted is just so strong in the early game for the fact that it can get you the Were Tiger in. You just start to plus it as soon as you start seeing that basically. And I mean you got a second one here.
It helps filter the deck as well.
I mean, they see 2 gas deals on that Demonted reveal, and so that must come in handy when it comes to.
Interesting, you do.
Obviously, like getting the.
Interesting, you choose not to rewrite. Do you not expect?
So I'm gonna keep him. I'm keeping him on 1 damage.
Yeah.
So I'm just not gonna. I'm gonna swing Vanguard to rearguard. If he blocks that, then rearguard to rearguard and rearguard to rearguard.
I mean, even if he goes into Breeze on like 2 counterblasts, it's not as good because like obviously he doesn't have any counterblast at that point. He can't use the crit because it needs a counterblast to get going in the first place. I mean, you force him to ride grade 3 first at this point, and it's not much.
He is able to multi-attack.
Yes, and he gets the standoff the Gold Chassis as well, which is quite annoying because then he can basically swing them with the.
I think God this lane as well.
Yeah.
After saying 2 damage, we got crit.
I mean, it's not looking too good for you at the moment, is it? I mean, you still have to G assist.
You need a miracle at this point.
And you don't get it. So like, you must be bricking it right now.
Fun fact here. Video's frozen. Fun fact here. Nick and I'm about to get a warning.
Okay.
What's the warning for?
So Nick forgot to counter charge at the end of his turn.
Oh, is it a mandatory skill?
It's a mandatory counter charge.
Yeah.
And what was your warning for?
You'll see it now.
Alright.
Does it come up now or does it come up like immediately after? Basically, I checked the top 2 cards of my deck whilst drawing 1 by accident.
Oh, okay.
Which is pretty awkward. I'm just swinging rears here. I don't care. I just need to not die. My hand's actually somewhat.
So he goes for
really
no
wants
pass
that
there.
grade 2 to be cleared save. It is his only grade 2.
I checked the grade 3 there, so I am fine.
Yeah.
He puts everything into that. It's his biggest source of early game pressure. He's going full here.
They got the silence.
He's using the Gold Chassis again to stand the. So that's a 16, and like your hand is like looking pretty dire at the moment.
Yeah.
Like
I'm okay. I'll be okay. Got that.
It's a good thing he didn't drive check a trigger.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, and now you okay. So
You have to.
and you top deck the grade 3 though at the same time. So it is fairly fortunate, and now you can start getting your advantage engine off.
The bishop came to your rescue.
But yeah, this is actually a really scary position. So I think I'm just going to take the Jaeger in and out of Soul and see if he wants to draw 1. Yeah. Basically, whenever I do that, I'm just showing my opponent that I've got a Jaeger, I'm putting it back in now.
Yeah, I put a little caveat in the previous video, sort of like explaining it as well. So
Because I just need cards in my hand.
yeah,
I want to not die.
you can't get rid of the Gold Chassis either because of the because it has resist. But you could probably snipe one of these.
I would most likely the starter is the most dangerous thing on the board right now.
I mean, he's on 1 damage as well, so it's good. It's going to be real hard for you to get
I mean, it's literally the choice between sniping the grade 2 that no longer has an effect.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't have effect as soon as he calls it, so it's like pretty low value at the moment. He'd have to like call over it to get the.
Here's where I get my warning, by the way.
So what happened here in this situation?
Is it here? Basically, I counterblasted 1 to draw 1, and then I looked at the top card of the deck by accident because I accidentally sort of flipped 2 off my deck whilst drawing.
Oh, okay.
Did you reshuffle afterwards?
Yeah, obviously.
Okay, so you take out the.
I'm just checking his grade 1 because I'm not.
So it's a choice between the one that gives resist and gain power when restand, or the one that restands 1 rearguard after boost.
Yeah, so I'm just like,
You're neutralizing his multi-attack.
I think he has to lose his goal charge. I soul charge 2 non-triggers.
So that helps, yeah.
Yep.
Something else is gonna help real soon. I'm
And then you're using the
So is this where you get the warning here? It's like,
yeah, we'll do.
so like, I imagine it's like the cat would be like probably one of the scenarios where that comes up. Yeah. So like the thing about the cat is it is basically like reference for Dark Irregulars. It just gets you filtering like so quickly and so efficiently.
He was also able to soul charge the Wager to draw into another cat, so he can just loop it.
The loop's so fun. It's so stupid and like 3+.
Yep. So he soul charges, strike for the Into another cat.
Onto another cat. This is like the
I
this is like the
This
ridiculousness
is the
of this.
longest loop of the cat that I managed to do.
Yeah.
It really helped.
I mean, you just keep plussing and plussing off it. It's really insane.
Is that
You got the other cat stand trigger, I think, off the draw. So now you're you're giving demonted 5k, which you can afford. So you go for the Gold Statue. So
interesting.
he basically lets both die. I guess it's like to clear his field up. So I guess he wants to clear those. So he wants to make sure everything is going onto the Vanguard, so he can get as much counter blast as he needs.
So you got one heal trigger.
So he gets a crit and a heal trigger.
Back into my favor.
And you get a double heal trigger.
So that's the miracle you needed from the game.
I mean, all that filtering you did with a cat as well does help in that regard. So it thins your deck to the point where getting triggers are pretty guaranteed.
Literally just even the entire game out.
And you've basically wiped his entire board, and like you basically evened the game out in that one turn. And that's basically like the power of Dark Regulars basically at the moment. It's that.
Nick pretty much, I think, he misplayed with Intercept. I'm guessing.
I think he made the right move because I think in his mind he wanted to make sure that he's getting counter blast for this turn. So he wanted both of his front rows to die. So if Naeem hit a stand trigger, he couldn't instead like just go for the Vanguard. He couldn't just go for the rear guard to deny Nick counter blast. So he instead goes for the Vanguard.
It's more the fact, if I were Nick, I would prefer, because I know the retiring skill from Charlotte will be coming next. I want to make sure I have something else to retire. My weaker units retired, and not my stronger grade 1.
Well, the grade one itself doesn't do too much, does it?
It gains power. It gains power when restand.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's the one that gives resist to the field as well.
Yeah.
I mean, in this matchup, it's not that relevant. So I think in his mind, in Nick's mind, he can afford to give that unit up, while also making sure that he gets enough counter blast for his turn.
So I was swinging 40 into Gold Sarchi just because it's a 10k guard, so it's painful for him. The double intercept is worth. It paid out.
So that's
a big boy.
That's a 20 by the looks of it.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so that's a yeah.
Guessing by him calling one rear guard out, he must be really low on resources right now.
Yeah. He called out a column of the 2 grade 1s, and the grade 1 withstood the other grade 1.
We're already seeing a good amount of Kasochi out of the deck already, so...
Kasochi is basically non-existent anymore, so I'm very happy. Story Victor on grade 2 does that because they're forced to use their pieces early. Forced them to use their pieces early is a lot better than doing it late.
A much more common strategy for Victor players these days is literally hold off to actually not go aggro and hold off to everything and just keep, then just attack with the Vanguard and then wait until they get to their grade 3 and then go into the Victor and then rush for that first turn scary build.
So the Victor's used the stride skill here to stand the grade 1, I think, and then so he's also put the G guard face up so he can flip it back down next turn to gain counter blast. So that's also a very nice, powerful combo. You've got the perfect guard here, and since you have one on the soul, which you rode earlier, you get to draw at this point. Is it at the end of the battle or during the battle? Okay. So he gets a draw trigger. Another draw trigger.
That's a really big grade 1.
I wonder how, that's the thing. Like, do we know how many draw triggers you use in this deck?
I think 6.
You won a lot because you won the have it for victory champ.
That's true.
I think I just. Oh no, I don't take the hit here. I won 5 actually, so taking the hit would have killed me.
Yes, so you
unless you
can.
Unless you have your
actually, no, you're still on 4 because you took 1 attack early on your perfect guard, so you're on 3 damage. So at this point, you're going for the G guard, so that'll be the new one. So that'll let you get a draw, will it? Or do you need a rear guard for it?
You need to send 1 unit to the soul for the draw.
Which you get 10k for free, so it's fine.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it's like that's even easier than Plot Maker in this deck, isn't it?
It's soul count of 8, which is.
So Nick
has quite a healthy looking hand at it.
I'm literally like, how many cards do you have in that? And he just.
Bans it out. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 cards. 12 actually. Oh, was it 12?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, 2 of those are draw triggers, so they're 5k cards.
Yeah.
And Grade 0s can't work.
Yeah. So are you going into Blade and Mouse at that point
He's
because
trying
you
to-
want
it's like
to
he's trying-
refill your deck basically?
It's like he's trying to intimidate you with his gigantic wall of hands.
And basically, like the thing that is different about your deck that a lot of other Dark Raiders don't do, that you actually play 4 Blade and Mouse in your build. And the reason for that is you want to keep the game going basically for as long as possible, and you keep that pressure on. And you can only really do that when you're recycling for where you're using 4 Blade and Mouse to recycle your triggers every turn basically.
Blade and Mouse is like the best stride that Dark regulars have, even after the long. Putting triggers back into your deck is a lot better than just swinging with God Restrict. Swinging with God Restrict with a deck full of triggers is a lot more scary than just swinging.
So with 4 cards left in deck, you basically check the top 4 with the skill that Gastiel inherited from the Succubus, and you put the 2 non-triggers basically in. So your deck is entirely triggers now.
3 triggers.
That must feel excellent.
Is that the judge that just look at your deck?
Yeah, that's the YellowCard looking at it.
Yeah. So we know there's 2 cats.
So
which is the
yeah,
one-
YellowCard was judging your match, I think. I'm trying to remember. Was YellowCard judging like all 3 games going on, or were there other people
Just
just?
judging ours.
Was
I
there
can't
a judge?
remember there being,
Was there a judge for all 3 games?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
I think at that point, I think my game against Muhammad is over. I think I finished him on on an Avenir turn. I think I just multi-attacked him because like he pushed me, so I like pushed him back with like a GB3 multi-attack turn, and like at that point he had like very little to guard because like Zodiac Time Beast also have a very good early game as well as say Dark Regulars because they have their stride fodder is like so disposable. You can just throw it and attack with it, and you can always guarantee that you have the stride because you can just guard.
Did he not have the wall at that point as well? Did he not have the wall at that point as well?
I don't think so. And if not, I think he it didn't make much of a difference because he only could like get like maybe a +5 where it wasn't really relevant. He didn't have enough cards in hand. I'm actually trying to remember how that game went down. It was an interesting one. He
Mohammed,
definitely
if you're
did a
hearing
lot.
this, comment in the comment section.
Yeah. His deck, Muhammad's deck's really good. We actually faced each other in an earlier round in Swiss, and he had a much harder time defending against Gear Chronicle. Then he managed to survive a heritage turn. 2 heritage basically, but at that point I had stripped him of so much of his resources, and he had to use the shield twice. He used it 3 times against me, but he used it in the second heritage turn. So basically, like the first heritage turn, I pushed him to 5, I think, and basically the second turn, he basically used the Sentinels to he basically soul blasted everything he could out of his soul, and basically powered up his Vanguard massively, and he had very few cards left in his hand at that point as well.
Probably should focus back.
Yeah, that's true. So we're getting back. So we're getting back to this game. So.
I've got to a point where I just need to win this turn. I've got enough cards in hand to be kind of healthy, but Victor's a scary deck. So I just call out Baleful and Gastiel. Both of them are hitting. So Baleful's 19, Gastiel's 21. I'm effectively just banking on both of them restanding, which they probably should.
Yeah.
There's a high chance you might have to win in this turn, because would you have been able to survive a victory?
I don't think you
a
would
winning
have
champ turn.
I need to win.
A winning champ or even a favorite champ would have been too much past this turn. That's the thing with this meta, like, you're going for your second finish as a finisher stride basically, and if you don't have like a good hand, like you could pretty much bank on like the other deck destroying you the next turn. So you basically have to put like you have to put everything back in it.
I only actually put back like 5
Isn't
cards.
it?
Yeah, but that's enough basically.
I think the trend is everything up to set 13 has a very powerful second strike kill turn. Everything within set 14 itself can potentially have a first turn kill stride if you can G-guard into it.
Yeah.
So I need to check a crit here to actually do enough damage.
So he gets the stun, so he gets the crit.
Crit goes to Vanguard. All the powers on the rear guards because the Vanguard, like, he's gonna PG. That's just, like, I can guarantee that.
Yeah.
So you got 1 trigger to power up.
Yeah. Now you're going with the red and mouse again.
Yeah.
I'm
Because
guessing
I've
your
already
kitty.
so I attack with the Baleful and then the Bladder. Actually, no, sorry, I don't think I stood that Bladder mouse.
It's your kitty
Because
cat.
I checked the one non-trigger in my deck, which was the Deranged Singular. I physically couldn't pull it out of my sword before I could put it back into deck.
It's the kitty cat coming to save you.
So basically, Nick at this point is forced to use all the zeros in his hand, basically, to prevent this, because he can't. Because if he uses the perfect guard, it'll be too much for him to stop the Toms, and obviously he doesn't have it. So there's the match there. It's like I'd finished my match, I'd won mine, and like at this point, like we were all pretty much like ecstatic and celebrating. Yeah. So I mean that was
the main thing I remember at the end of the tournament was just doing this. Because I was so tired.
It was a really long day, despite it. Like it was. Well, the day wasn't really like long, especially when we got to like top 8. Like by this, we'd started at like 11:30, 12ish, and like we'd finished like Swifts by about like 3 o'clock. We took a bit of a breather in between then, and like it was just basically straight.
Like 5 p.m.
And that was only
it was
22
like,
teams.
So, it was like, but like it was still very exhausting because the matches were all really like good. The player quality was very high, especially at the higher end of the tables.
Once we got to top 8, it was not an easy ride. That's all I can say.
No, I can't imagine it would be. It was like we basically the thing is with the with top 8 with Swiss we were close to actually bubbling at one point.
Yes.
And so that was pretty scary. But as soon as we got to top 8, we pretty much like went undefeated because like I guess like we were caught out a bit more by slightly more roguish matchups. In Swiss, maybe. Well, I feel I got caught out by like a bit of bad luck and a bit of roguish
you
sort of
literally ran into like Deleters.
Yeah, I ran.
Did you play Giza no Ciel twice?
No, I played it once, but it was a very weird deck that actually ran like another grade 3, and he was on that grade 3.
Oh, Sarakiel, right?
Yeah, it's like the Sarakiel, and he only ran 2 copies. And it was like weird because like he couldn't actually go into Gizeh when he wanted to. He had to like wait a turn. But like I was stuck on like grade 0 for like 2 turns, which was horrible. So basically that allowed him to like.
So what would you guys describe as your hardest matchup of the actual day then?
The hardest matchup for me would have probably been Nubatama or Darkness. I didn't actually face Darkness once the whole day, so I count myself fairly lucky. That was the case. But I faced 2 Nubatamas, I think, and I basically won one, lost one. With Zodiac Time Beast, the Nubatama matchup is pretty 50-50. If you get your resources, like you can survive the Renees quite easily, but if they get a good aggression on you early on, it's hard for you to stop the continued domination at that point. But the mirror match was actually something, again, I was worried about with Zodiac Time Beast, but I knew enough about it to know that as long as I keep my pressure up and I have a good sort of like stride aggression, I can usually win out, even if it's like, take an example of my top 8, I was against Ellis, who was actually the winner of the 2016 at Telford in England. And he was running Zodiac Time Beast today, and he actually I pushed him with Gear Next and first Stride Gear Next, which I had Sabreezed and then G-guarded into, and then he went into Dust basically at that point. And it was the right move to make because I had 2 heal triggers in hand and they basically turned those off for the turn. So it was a good move. I was able to survive it though, and then I top decked my own Jet Z, and so I went into Dust myself and then just closed the game out at that point because he couldn't really respond to that. So it's a bit 50-50, but as long as you're able to push first, you're in the much stronger position at that point, I think.
Personally, my toughest matchup would be Dominate. It's a scary deck that plays fast and it can hit you before you get your resources going. Also, even once you get your resources going, it can be a bit awkward just because losing 3 cards from hand without even needing to guard all of them.
It's also the one deck that Hash for himself was a struggle with.
Yeah, it's
so if the master struggles, the apprentice gonna struggle as well.
I didn't play Z.T.B. all day, which was surprising, and I'm very thankful.
It's probably the matchup. They didn't put the ZTB. No one put their ZTB on the third.
Don't put ZTB on A because everyone expects the best deck to be on A. So you don't put ZTB on A.
Yeah.
And then I never play ZTB, so it's great. And also, no one put Dark Irregulars on A, so I never played DIs, which was perfect.
That was good. So you basically never faced a mirror match at all. I faced it like twice. Right, and it's like so damn.
I guess they ranked it as the best deck in there.
Yeah, you put the best deck in the middle. That's how it goes.
Oh well, basically, it was a great time at God Save the VGCS. It was great meeting Chris from DifferentFight and Ben from YellowCard. Great guys. And, obviously thanks to Ben for organising the event as well. Even with the limited the limited turnout that we eventually got, we still got maximum turnout, and everyone was there. Everyone was having a lot of fun regardless of what they were playing, and even the people who were playing competitively had a lot of fun. There wasn't, from what I saw, there wasn't much salt, but maybe they were probably a bit more behind the scenes about it.
Well, I mean, overall it was a really fun event, and when you're going to win a play mat, you don't really take things. There's no big salt. But,
Say on this.
Naeem, any other? We all pulled each other through when when we needed to, basically, and that was pretty nice.
Would you say Naeem pretty much carried the day?
Naeem pretty much carried the team. You only lost once, and that was due to really, really bad luck. It was against Kaylin, and you damaged both of your gas steals.
It was still a Messiah match of all things. After fighting for this guy.
It's I'll concede that Kaylin is probably the best Messiah player in the UK at this point in time. I would argue, and this is coming from someone who knows the Messiah deck really well. So, yeah. But yeah, I do sincerely hope that you enjoyed watching our coverage of the VGCS. I hope the matches have been fun, especially the top cuts. DifferentFight and YellowCard are going to be doing their own commentary videos on this as well, so do look forward to that. I think Chris is busy with his dissertations as well. I'm not sure when his deadlines are, but I've just finished mine yesterday, so I'm pretty good about it. So I'll be able to. I've got a lot of backlog. I still need to put the finals of Preston up as well. So that's fun. I'm looking forward to that.
My deck, you haven't put down my Regalia deck this either.
Huh?
You still need to put down my Regalia deck this either.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'll do it.
If you want the deck profiles, they're on my Twitter for now, but they should be coming.
Yeah, I'm a bit worn out from a few things. So I'm going to be focusing on getting the backlog sorted first before we do any more sort of content. But finals first, and then I'll do the Preston finals as well, and then deck profiles after that. So I guess we'll leave it there for now. I hope I do hope you've enjoyed. Subscribe if you do like it. Hit that notification bell get that notification squad, boys. In my best solemn banger voice. No offense, Solomon. But yeah, we'll see you next time, you two, and thanks again for watching.